we're back. Hello, hello, hello. This is the Chelsea Football Fancast. I am Stamford Chidge. This delightfully lovely lady here is Sophie Rose. She's blowing your kisses, which would be fine on a normal day, but she's got a stinking cold, so you really don't want them.
I don't want that. Give it back.
These lovely boys here are Jonathan Kidd, a.k.a. Eden Hazard, Seb O'Mahony, a.k.a. Nemanja Matic, and Pablo, a.k.a. Cesc Fabregas. But unlike Fabregas, Pablo is not scared of celery.
Of course, are all their names copyrighted so you can't say them properly?
No, it's just, I just say them badly.
They might be, you never know.
Anyway, we've also got the benches on the other side of the studio, who are tonight Dan, Andy and the Gaffer. And they're looking fine. They are really the hardcore of the benches, that lot. They really are. I reckon they could give Costa a run for his money, actually, in a dark alley. Anyway, right, it is now time for the fannies. Now, normally, you know, basically the website, the Chelsea FanCast website went a bit pear-shaped today, but normally you would have had all of the nominations on there to vote for, and you know, you would get to vote, and of course you can't today because it went all pear-shaped. So it's all about us tonight, I'm afraid. Anyway, the nominations for the man of the match this week for Liverpool are Matic, Nemanja Matic, Diego Costa, who, as we said, was wonderful, and last but by no means least, Gary Cahill. Much to the consternation of my lads on the benches, no doubt. But as I said, I just kind of overall, for comedy and drama, I feel he deserved it. But
Azar didn't make it.
Can you explain to me why Cahill was a bad choice then? Because I think you all
I think we did earlier, didn't we? Because you mooted the possibility of... He was great, as was John Terry. I think
scored 2 goals, in fact.
Yeah, I think John...
Could have had a hat-trick.
He could. I think John Terry should have been involved. I think, as Pablo mentioned earlier, I thought he was completely marvellous.
Well, the minute that Pablo mentioned it, I saw the error of my ways, and I did think about putting JT in there for man of the match. And it was just the comedy value that kind of sidetracked me. But you know,
so man of the match for comedy value. I'm not sure this one's going in the right direction.
He should have got. It could have got a salary
another category.
Yeah.
Should have got a salary nomination. Not.
Yeah, indeed. I think there is.
Anyway, that being said, who would you like to be for your man of the match, Pablo?
It has to be one of those three, does it?
Well, only because it'll go a bit wrong on the website. But I mean, you wouldn't have voted for Cahill anyway.
I'd have voted for Terry.
You'd have voted for Terry.
Hands down, he was exceptional. He was better than anybody else.
You realise that none of them have gone on the website yet, so we could, I
could alter it.
I could.
Could Hazard make an appearance?
Well, I don't think he deserved it myself.
Okay, there's 2 misses, you mean, the two
no,
shots?
As I said earlier on, and I think this is is definitely a valid point, I think that, you know, it was a great team performance. There weren't any kind of great individual performances. There were great team performances. And the reason, I mean, okay, Cahill is obviously a bit of a 5-minute moment of madness on my account. I accept that. And actually, Terry would be a much better choice for one of the nominations. And the reason why I would, in hindsight, go Terry, Matic and Costa is that in a great team performance, those 3 embodied that team ethic. You know, Costa, okay, scored a great goal, a moment of individual skill, yeah. But the way he ran around all day, his work rate, the way he got in their faces, that was all for the team. Matic held it all together. He bossed midfield on his own. I mean, I have to say, that's one of the most anonymous games I've ever seen Steve Gerrard play for Liverpool. I've seen him play like that for England a lot, but, you know, he was was he playing? I mean, apart from going like, ball, I hardly saw him. Matic snuffed him out.
He can't run anymore, is another answer to that. He can't do anything that requires.
He plays a very good 45-yard ball, doesn't he? And that's it.
Hollywood pass.
And you could see that he got to like about 55 minutes and literally had nothing left in terms of movement. So that's when he started doing it all the time.
And I think, you know, by the same token, Pablo, I think John Terry, you know, it wasn't a great individual performance. It didn't catch the eye per se, but he held everything together at the back. It was a great.
He didn't make a single mistake.
He embodied the whole team ethic.
I don't know if you saw the boring stats on it. 100% tackles won, 100% aerial duels won, 90% pass completion. Like, and you can't argue with it. It's a perfect.
Well, Pablo, I do see the error of my ways, and I will change
accordingly.
I will change the nominations to Terry, Matic, and Costa as a result. But who are you going to vote for, Jonathan?
Matic, given the 3.
Given the 3.
Yeah, even though I thought JT was great, I think Matic is superb.
Jose was quoted, I think, yesterday as saying he thinks he's Chelsea's best player right at the moment. You know, and you can't argue with that.
Possible future captain.
A lot of love for Cesar Spilicueta.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, he had a great
I
game.
would have voted for him.
Would you really?
Because that was a lost ball nearly for the goal because
he was
giving it up.
Yeah.
And it just stayed up. It
That's-
was right on the borderline, wasn't it?
It was, but it was in.
His overall performance was great, though, wasn't it?
The ball for it was
Brilliant.
so good. But Mignolet had to make a save, probably not a very good save, but
not
good
just
shout.
not just for that. I think just for his overall performance. I think he's a better player for the way the team is set up than Lewis is.
Yeah.
But not only
for me.
Yeah, but look at the praise he got from Carragher and Neville this week. They said he was the best defender in the league.
Yeah,
that says a lot.
That
from
says
those
a huge. Well,
from
Gary
those,
Neville, his opinion, I respect. And actually, to be fair, a lot of people shoot me down for this. I think actually Carragher's grown into his role as a pundit, and he's obviously had elocution lessons because he's a bit more understandable. But he talks a lot of sense.
The only thing he's not good at doing is asserting an opinion he doesn't actually believe in, which you see every now and then. But I think he's very good.
I think he's getting better, isn't he? I think Gary Neville's a revelation. I think he's the best pundit I've seen on football.
And he's probably the best football writer going in the minute as well.
Bright lad, always was though. You know.
So out of the three, I'd vote Matic, but special mention to Aspilicueta.
I think absolutely.
I agree completely. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to vote for them all. I mean, you know, the man of the match should be the team because I think that's the first match I think that we've seen where Jose's philosophy has shone through. It's all about sacrificing for the team, and he was wetting his pants about it afterwards because of that Fabregas and Ramirez playing through injury, for example. Yeah,
we were just sort of stood there dreading the moment that Mikel was going to come on.
Do you know what? I didn't get to talk about that in the first part, and I wanted to mention that. I just thought, you know, his closing out subs I thought were absolutely spot on. I was fearing Mikel, to be honest, but he brought Drogba on for Costa, which is great, and then he brought Luis on, and who else did he bring on?
William for Ramirez to.
Yeah. But they were not obviously defensive. It wasn't to shut the game down.
I mean, like Drogba closes down a game like nobody else ever, basically.
We got to vote because time is moving on. Matic.
Terry. I wouldn't have any qualms about Matic winning it at all.
What are you going to go for, Mona?
I'm actually going to go for Diego Costa just because he scored the goal.
Fair enough.
And I think it's very important because we didn't have that last season, so I will go for him this week.
I think you got a bit of love for Costa, really, because you liked him in those gloves, and now you've voted for him.
I did. I'm all for him this week. Normally
Oscar,
but
I'm going to tell Oscar what you said.
Do you like his short length?
His short length?
Yeah, because they could be shorter or they could be longer.
Oh, you mean...
the length of his shorts.
Well, I didn't know what you were talking about. I don't really have preference on that.
Okay.
I thought you liked short shorts.
I like short shorts.
But not on Diego
I like Oscar
Costa.
in short shorts.
Okay. Oh, wear short shorts.
All right. Benches, quickly from you guys. Who are you going for?
Yeah, I think it's unanimous Matic.
A unanimous Matic. All right, done deal. I think Matic gets it. That's fair enough. But you, the voters, can change our minds when I get them up on the website. Now, chant of the match. Before everybody coats me off and says, well, where's the Gianfranco Zola stuff that was at the end? I've moved that into the Celery moment, and there's good reason for that. So the chance of the match nominations this week. I think, you know, trying to toe the party or the he who must not be named CFC UK line that we should be more focused on singing songs that support the players rather than coating off other teams or singing about other teams that we're not playing. I've thought about that. I thought about that when I made these nominations. The first one is one Gary Cahill. I obviously had a bit of a weird thing about Gary Cahill this match. I don't know what it is. But I really did like hearing a Gary Cahill song being sung because you don't hear it very often. And I thought, well, that's really good. So I nominated that. I've nominated Diego because that was probably the most sung chant really through the game. And again, well deserved. And I really enjoyed that. But the other one I've gone for is the Zigga Zagga. That's the best Zigga Zagga I've heard. Thank you, sir. Yeah?
I didn't hear it.
Well, Pablo was there.
What was it like?
It didn't strike me as being that good.
I'll tell you what. Okay, can I be really, really honest here? Again, you won't like this. And I mean, okay, I was watching it on the telly, so different thing. I've heard Chelsea away, and they have been dominant. They have been loud. You could not hear anybody, but not on Saturday. The Scousers, when they bothered to sing, and they did in the first half, and they stopped singing in the second half. When they sung, we couldn't hear you, not at all. Now that could be mics.
Do you know what's interesting?
Could be all sorts of things. I know, but I couldn't hear you very well.
I don't feel that was the case throughout.
I think you lot sang all game. There's no doubt about it.
I would say that Anfield's the loudest stadium in the league immediately after a home team goal. Always. Yeah. It always has been. But beyond that, there wasn't really anything.
Ours
wasn't exceptional.
Okay, well, I don't. That's why I'm asking the question, Pablo, because if you watch it on TV, you would say, "Well, I don't think we were that loud." Although I know enough.
But we've had this conversation before. They turn the microphones down.
So,
and equally, from my perspective, I was in the front row, so everything was happening.
But there was every time the Demba Ba song was sung, which was quite a lot. They responded with the Gerrard version.
Yeah, I know. Well, you don't, as you would expect them to do.
As you'd expect, yeah. I felt there's one missing from there, which was the rather witty go at Balotelli for saying that even Torres is better than you.
Ah, yeah. Well, I missed that.
Probably is.
You missed that one.
Right, we've got to vote because we're dragging on. Jonathan.
I don't really like any of them.
Well, doesn't matter. Vote for one. Just give me a number between 1 and 3.
Cahill.
Cahill.
I'm going for Zigazag because I think you rarely hear it.
I'm going for Zigazagger too. Because I tell you what, not only did I hear it, but I really heard it. And that's what I'm saying. Compared to a lot of other songs we were singing, I really heard that. And I thought, well, good on you guys. I like that. So I'm going for Zigazagger. So is Seb.
I'd go Cahill.
Cahill. Ooh, 2 Cahills and 2 Zigazaggers. Sophie?
Okay, so I do love the Zigazagger song, but I do hear it all the time. But I'm going to go for one Gary Cahill just because he provided quite a lot of he just looked like a penguin.
You liked it. You liked it, didn't you? Good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go for him.
So far, it's Gary Cahill. Are you going to back her up on this, Boyd?
No, sorry. Zigazagger.
Oh.
Yeah, Zigazagger.
All 3 Zigazaggers.
Yeah.
We know who's on the benches next week, don't we?
You are.
Yeah. Hey.
Who would have started the Zigazagger song?
I don't know, but he did a good job. Apparently, there's some unwritten law that says you have to be related to Greenaway to be able to sing it.
That's why I set you up to say that.
I know. Ooh, thank you.
You have to be related to Greenaway.
We are going for the Zigazagger on here, but as I said, you can vote for what you like when I get them up. Now, very, very quickly, Guinness moment. This should be quite simple, I think. There were some really good moments, actually, but I particularly loved this bit. I don't know if you remember this, but Oscar did a kind of a 30-yard cross ball to Hazard, and he was on the touchline, and he just... Now, Franco Zola, interestingly enough, used to do this regularly. The ball would come over 30 yards, he'd just catch it on his instep and kill it dead, and then off he would go. And I nearly wet my pants in the Guinness moment.
Bobby Chant used to do that as well.
It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty, and I did go, oh, afterwards. Now, I loved Hazard's run, mazy run, and then he kind of chipped the ball up to Costa before.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah, I loved that. And lastly, and Seb will love this too, but I thought Aspie's skill in not only keeping the ball in, but doing the old kind of kick it one way and run round the man to get it, and then with the outside of his foot cross the ball over. I'm actually really tempted to vote for that. I thought that was, and also it led to the goal. I mean, there's a lot to love. So good Guinness moments this week.
I'm afraid I actually went.
Did you, Jonathan?
No, not to that one.
Oh.
No, for Oscar's nutmeg in the very beginning of the game.
I missed that.
Very beginning of the game. That move where all he did was just flick the ball through somebody's legs. I can't remember. Yep.
Was it Murray?
No,
Nutmegs against Glenn Johnson don't count.
It wasn't. No, Glenn Johnson was on the other wing.
This is the man that stole the toilet seat from B&Q, mate.
Yeah.
Wonderful pass.
Okay.
And I actually went,
Did you?
That
I
was
couldn't
good.
help. I thought of you.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's
not
even
naked,
more
of
disturbing.
course, but I thought of you.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I'm very alarmed.
Yeah.
Seb, what do you get?
That was the one I was thinking
I missed
of,
that.
but
I'm really feeling across that I missed that.
But yeah, it has to be Aspie.
You're going to go for Aspie?
Yeah, it has to be, yeah.
I think I'm going to go for the Hazard run into...
And then he chipped
the chip.
Yeah.
Mostly for the run itself rather than the chip, because...
There's nothing like seeing that guy on a run, is there?
I think I'll go for that as well.
Okay.
I told you, I thought Hazard was brilliant. I think the only one who thought he was completely
I'm
brilliant.
liking this. So 2 Hazards, 2 Aspies. I'm going to go for Aspie.
I'll go for him too.
You gonna go for Aspie?
I'm siding with Twitter. Twitter say him too, so I go with him.
Robert, can I have a quick look?
Robert says Dave! !
Robert says Dave. Ryan Thomas says Aspie. Tommy Driscoll, Aspie. Lovely. Yeah, I mean, they're all going for Aspie. So it's 3-2 to Aspie. Benches?
Aspie again.
What Sophie said, I wasn't going to get.
What Sophie said.
Yeah.
As she said Aspie, mate.
Oh, I didn't Aspie then.
Okay, Aspie it is. All right. Now we're on to the celery moment. And, again. Okay, first of all, I will say I missed one. But this only came to light after I'd written the script yesterday. And had I known about this, it would definitely have been included in the nominations. And that was, apparently, as we all know, there is an unwritten rule written by Scouse mythologists that all goalkeepers have to acknowledge the generous and warm applause from the greatest supporters in the land who know football better than anybody else in the land because they're so knowledgeable. They are. They won it 5 times as well.
Have you been practicing this?
I haven't.
over
It's
the
just,
weekend?
it's just coming out of me.
It's in the car on the way
I
up.
think what it is, the more,
coming out of me like a
the
long
more and
fart.
more that you hear Carragher and Gerrard, you can't help but just get.
But they
stuck
do.
in
There's
you.
this kind of unwritten law, and apparently they were giving Courtois a lot of applause. And he ignored them,
Yeah.
and I just thought, yes, mate. Just tell him where they can stick it, mate. Good on you, Courtois. He's gone up in my estimation hugely.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
I
on
love
Twitter
it.
yesterday.
So maybe there'll be 4 nominations. I don't know, mate.
What about the state we left their changing rooms?
Well, that was another one that I didn't know about. But you see, here's the thing.
Wasn't that bad?
No, it's-
I don't think that was deliberate. I think they just basically left it in the state they found it, like the rest of Liverpool.
or what we did to all their seats at the Emirates.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So I think we should include the Courtois one as well. But the first real nomination is that we got a picture of this, boys, in the gallery. It's number 11, I think. The goal celebration in the Chelsea. Look at that!
God,
Isn't
I know,
that
like
lovely?
4 or 5 people in the front row.
I know. It's quality, isn't it?
I'm literally about 3 seats.
Yeah,
away.
there's some mentalness going on there. I absolutely loved it. Do you know what? Because I watched it on TV, I kept on winding it back. Everybody's going.
But also, it was aimed beautifully at all the Liverpool fans to the right-hand
Oh,
side.
it's
there as well.
fantastic. I couldn't help but to nominate that. The other one I'm going to nominate is JT at the end. There we go. He dragged all the team over to applaud the away support, who were tremendous, in spite of me saying I couldn't hear them, but they clearly were.
Ranner's holding hands with Eden Hazard. You
Is
see
he?
that?
Can we see that again? Can we see this still again? Is he?
No, he's not.
He's not. It just looks like it.
We were talking about the how Terry and Mourinho on this whole atmosphere debate of now has become good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
So Terry's the kind of good guy that's obviously making a.
Well, I thought that when I saw that, but the other thing I thought was because actually, at Maribor, JT was and Czech were the only ones who applauded the away support, weren't they?
Made me very
Yeah.
angry, actually.
And I think JT, and we moan about it at the fans forum to Steve Atkins all the time, saying you've got to tell the players they've got to do it because it's
Shouldn't have to be told.
they
They
shouldn't
no,
have
they
to be
should just
told.
go
I
over.
know.
I mean, I
Especially
guess
if you're European away.
but we'll talk about Maribor later. But
We will.
I guess
Perhaps
I
they
was
were
a bit
embarrassed.
annoyed at first. I think Oscar went to go away, then he came over.
Well,
but
they need to do it.
Costa and Fabregas did just go in. But then again, they're probably really disappointed with
That's right,
how they
they're
played.
embarrassed.
So
But
yeah.
it doesn't matter. You need to recognise the support. These people
In fact,
spend a
these
lot of
people
money.
made the
to
effort.
go.
It's
going.
more embarrassing to not come over then, surely.
I don't know why they wouldn't want to. I mean, if you just won, especially at Liverpool,
they're
if you just
both
won
into it,
2-1,
aren't
you
they?
shouldn't. JT shouldn't have to drag
They
them
need to
in
do it
it,
anyway. So I was
really.
very pleased to see JT instilling that into them again.
Yeah.
Now the last bit about Nemi's lease. This is Pablo tipped me the wink on this because he was there. There are 2 elements to this that are brilliant. The first bit was Franco. Here we go. Right, you see that bloke. If when you watch this on YouTube tomorrow, at the bottom, third from the left or third from the right, in fact, that is Pablo bellowing out, Gianfranco Zola, la 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 la. And the reason they were doing that, the whole of the Chelsea away end stayed there for ages, didn't they, Pablo?
It must have been in there for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
after
and they didn't stop. It was Gianfranco Zola the whole time because.
He was doing the interviews.
There you go. There's Franco there. He's having a grin on his face because you can probably still hear it. But they were at the BT kind of presentation bit that they have on the pitch, and you could see him. I mean, I'm sure you could see it too. And I watched it on TV, and he was smiling away and smiling away. Scholes was laughing. McManaman was laughing. They were all. Jack Humphreys, whatever his name is, he had to mention it, and it was just a brilliant moment.
They moved them all down to the other end of the.
And they did
stadium,
move it, yeah. I
presumably.
mean, I just thought and that's why it's not Chant of the match. I think it was just proper Chelsea. We got one of our greatest ever players, and 15 minutes you serenaded him. And Pablo's in the photo. I mean, there's so much to love about
Yes,
that.
it's true.
There is, in fact, so much to love about that.
Yes.
That is what I'm voting for.
Yeah, I'll vote for that.
You're going to vote for that too?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
vote for that, but special mention
Yeah.
for the Courtois thing.
And also, it's very nice to see Pablo involved in it as well.
I don't know. We've had shows before and stills where Pablo's been heavily
No, I
involved
know,
in
I
things.
know,
But
I know.
I always like those. I tend to vote for them on that basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, in any stills of any of us, I'd vote for.
There we go. Is it becoming of you to vote for yourself, Pablo? I think it is.
I can vote for Zola.
You can vote for Zola. There we go. And therefore, you get away. So we're unanimous so far. Sophie, are you going to go another way, or are you going to vote for
No,
that?
I'll go for Gianfranco because he's
You're
one of
gonna
my
go
faves too. Yeah,
And
of
Pablo,
course.
remember?
And
Incidentally,
Featuring him.
Very, yeah, I like that. Well, there'll be a remix next week. Benches very, very quickly because we've got to go to a break.
Yeah, Zola.
Zola. Special mention to Pablo too.
Yeah.
Good. Just checking. All right, brilliant stuff. I enjoyed that. Nice set of fannies this week for the Liverpool game. We will be back in a very short while to talk about the Maribor game. See you in a sec.
Ooh.